Wow, okay, I know we'll be getting started shortly. There are folks out there, they're always here early sometime, Lane. There's some folks that just arrive and want to be here.
The go-getters, right?
The go-getters, I like that. Is that 2 words or 1 word?
I think it's 2, maybe it's a hyphen. I've always wondered that myself, Shay. Please don't.
Okay,
I don't
okay,
know.
okay.
Don't test me. I might be wrong. I don't like to be wrong, but you know.
I've been wrong before. But for those folks that arrived early, we take just maybe a minute and just kind of share maybe some things they should do while they're hanging around waiting for us to get started.
Oh, sure, yes. For those who are here early, first of all, thank you for showing up early. You might want to get a paper and a pencil and something to take some notes with, make yourself comfortable. Hopefully you're going to learn something today. Maybe you get yourself something to drink just so you don't have any distractions. And I look forward to sharing with them what we've got going on today.
I can't wait either. I know we'll be live shortly, so I really can't wait to get started. Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown. I'm so excited today to be here with the Lane Cobb, who has agreed today to be here and really to share her insider secrets, the tips, the secret sauce on how you really can have personal power to do all the things you really, really want to do. So I'm excited. She's agreed, by the way, today to open up, to be very transparent, to share her secrets, to allow me to dive deep. And I can't wait to find out all the things I need to do to really have personal power. So with that being said, why don't you at least tell them your name? They're probably sitting there and want to know who you are.
Well, you've given me such a nice introduction, Shay. Thank you so much. My name is Lane Cobb. I also want to thank all the viewers here, everybody who's watching and tuning in with us today. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to be talking to you and to be talking to them. And I am a personal power coach for women. It's my pleasure to do what I do. I work with women to stand in their power, to unveil themselves, if you will, to help them drop the baggage from the past, that kind of have them stuck in the present in a place that doesn't work for them, and go off to the future where they can just be fulfilled and powerful and just change the world.
Well, thank you so much for joining. We certainly appreciate it. And, you know, the folks out there right now, they probably want to know, like, who is this for, by the way? Who is this for? So go ahead right now, share. Who is this for right now? Would you say, let's first talk about one person group that it's for. They're out there right now. So for one group, this is for folks who have what?
For folks that have allowed others to take away their power.
Now, what do you mean by that? Please go ahead and share.
Well, I'll tell you, this is an area where I have had a lot of personal experience, Shay, lots of personal experience. So people who allow other people to take away their power in lots of situations, maybe in relationships where it's an uneven relationship, or could be an abusive relationship, or maybe there are bullies. You can be bullied in the office, in your own family, in your community. Contentious divorces, adverse circumstances, unfair work situations. People who give away their power allow other people to come in and actually have you just subjugate yourself. You don't say what you want to say. You don't do what you want to do. You kind of allow yourself to be suppressed and work in the background. And, you know, that causes a lot of anger a lot of times. Causes a lot of anger, a lot of regret, a lot of resentment. And a lot of women actually have to deal with that and manage that in their lives, and I'm committed that women don't do that anymore. You know, you can be powerful. You don't have to let anyone take away your power ever, ever again.
Wow, and who else may this be for, by the way? Someone else said, wow, that was so powerful. Who else is this for? Please share.
Well, people who are their own worst enemies, Shay, people who are their own worst enemies. And I'll tell you, I have been in my life what I like to call a master procrastinator. So I know how disappointing this can be. I call it self-sabotage. It's called
what did you say?
Self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you know, when you sabotage your own success, you do so because you have a fear of the unknown, or you have a fear of failure, you have self-doubt. And what you do often is you just keep putting things off. You put things off. So you have a great idea to start a business, but you decide, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week, or maybe you want to start a new relationship. I'll start looking, you know, online. I'll just wait till
dating,
next week. Well, you know, that's the thing to do. It's the thing to do these days, right? You know, it's the thing to do. Anything that you want to do, write a book, get a new career. Start a new life, you know. And something we were talking the other day, Shay, doing your laundry, cleaning your house.
Hey, you're
stepping
on some toes now.
Well, you know what? Everybody has to do what they have to do in life. We all have those things. But We have the things that we have to do in our everyday life, but we also have the things that we dream about doing. And those are the things that make us happy. That's the important stuff. And a lot of times we let the little things get in the way of doing the big things that we want to do. And that's what's really the sweet spot. You know, when you can get in touch with what it is you really want to accomplish and stop putting yourself on the back burner, that's when your life is going to take off. So that's who this is for. People who are their own worst enemies and are self-sabotaging their own dreams.
Wow. That's a really good point. I know I've been guilty of the lines. I've been guilty of a number of things. And, who else, may I ask, who else is this for as well? Who else is this for as well?
Well, this presentation is for people who, again, I'll do it tomorrow.
I'll what?
I'll self-sabotage. I'll do it tomorrow.
I've heard that
Tomorrow
before.
never comes.
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow never comes.
Wow. Okay. And who else might this be for as well? I mean, please share. I mean, this is very important. What is that? I mean, who else is this for?
Well, this is for people who are constantly looking, Shay, constantly looking for that one thing that's going to change their life and make them happy. They know there's something else out there. They know it's something that they really want to find, but for some reason they just can't find it. I tell you, before I was a coach, I spent a good deal of time in my life in this space, and it's a very, very painful place to live in. Very painful place, because if you're looking for passion in your life, or you're looking for fulfillment or joy, or you want to look for your purpose, but you keep looking outside, you don't know to look inside, or you don't know where to look, and it makes you feel incomplete. There's something missing in your life. You don't know what that is. You can't put your finger on it, but you know there's something missing, and you want to really find that. And I help women find that thing that's going to make them happy, that's going to fulfill them and bring them joy and satisfaction and peace of mind. So people who are just looking for something, but you're not sure what it is, that's who this presentation is for.
Wow. Now, would that apply, just a quick question if I can, would that apply to someone who is maybe, I have a son, he just graduated from college, to someone that's maybe early in their 20s? And would that also apply to someone who might be in their 40s as well as someone in their 60s or beyond? I mean, does it apply to everyone, or are we always looking? I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, I know we're going to be talking about some great power points, but the question is, does this apply for anyone at any place where they are in their life?
It can apply to anyone at any time in their life. However, let me just say this. There are certain times in our lives when that looking becomes a little more urgent. The clock is ticking. You know, I'm not a spring chicken.
Well, you look like it.
I've seen a little lot of life. Well, you know what? I have a lot of people to thank for that. You know, thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. However, you know, there comes a time when you realize that you've given your life over to a lot of these things. So when you're young, you kind of live in your life based on what you think you're supposed to do to succeed. You know, you have a goal in your life. You're going to school, you get a job, you're working, you start a family, and that's what you give your life to. And then in middle age, you know, again, you're raising the kids, or you're kind of, you know, maybe you're exploring at that point some other avenues for success. As you get a little bit older, then you start to look around, the kids are grown, you know, you've been in the same job for a little while, maybe your relationships have shifted a little bit, empty nest syndrome, whatever. Start looking at your life and look in the mirror and going, I don't know if I have a whole lot of time left. Let me see what else my life is for. That's the time in life when people really say, what are my gifts? I want to make a difference in this planet, on this planet, before I have to look back and say, wow, what did I do with my life before it's too late? Wow. So this is for people who really are looking and saying, okay, what is the difference I want to make in my life, because I want to make a difference for the other people in the world, not just for me.
Wow. Well, you know, I kind of got it started, and I didn't get to even mention who you are. I mean, forgive my manner. Sometimes I've been known to do that, but there's some folks out there right now, they're probably thinking they've heard you speak. You've made some good points of who it's for, but they probably like want to know, who is Lane?
Well, you know, as I mentioned before, I am an intuitive power coach for women, and I teach women to connect with their passion and discover their purpose and achieve their highest potential.
What is that up there? Who? Wait, okay. I know it's important to know about you. I mean, we're gonna, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you in a moment, I'm gonna come back, and Lane, they want to hear all about you and whatever it is you're gonna tell us about you. But they're curious. They're like, who is that up there on the picture with you? They're like, who is that?
Oh, that's my little Willow. Isn't she pretty?
Oh, Willow.
Isn't she pretty? That's my little doggie. She's been with me for 8 or 9 years, and she follows me all over the place. She's just my buddy. She's just my buddy, and You know, she gives me that unconditional love that we all want, and it's, you know, I like pets. Pets give you unconditional love, and they wag their tail when you come home.
Yes, they
and
do.
They don't care if you cuss a little bit, or, you know, if you're late with dinner, they forgive you.
They forgive you?
You know.
As long as dinner shows up,
As
right?
long as dinner shows up sometime in the near future, they're all right. They're all right.
Well, just a quick question. We are going, ladies and gentlemen, I promise you we're going to get into who is Lane in a moment. But where did you find Willow? Like, how do you and Willow connect? Just for the audience, there's folks out there, they're probably curious. I mean, there's pet lovers out there. I mean, I know I love pets. There's pet lovers out there. How did you and Willow come together? Please share with the audience.
Willow's a pound puppy. She's a pound puppy. I wanted to become a pet owner. I always had a cat.
Okay.
I didn't have any dogs, so I always wanted to have a little dog because I always thought it was really cute the way people have little dogs and they carry them in your purse.
Yes, yes.
And I thought, oh, I want to have a little dog carry in my purse. As it turns out, she's a little bit too big to carry my purse. She's gotten a little big. Maybe I feed her too much. I don't know. But I did. I went to the pound and I adopted her and her mom. Now her mom has passed. In the last couple of years, her mom passed.
Oh,
but
sorry,
Willie, it's all right. Willow's still with me. She's got a new lease on life. She's like she got some swagger. She got some swagger.
I like
you know,
that.
Yeah.
Well, great. So just real quick, we're going to get into who are you. Tell the folks that are listening right now, they really do want to know who you are. I mean, Willow, thanks for sharing a lot about Willow as well. So who is Lane? Please share.
Well, I am someone who has worked with women for over 25 years on connecting with what they're passionate about, in living their purpose, in putting themselves first. You know, women, one of the legacies that we live is that we are the nurturers, we are the caregivers, and we take care of our families and our partners, and that's what we do. We forget about ourselves sometimes. And so I have been working with women in a lot of different areas, in the area of health, for instance, and weight management, and disease management, in the area of wellness, as far as alternative wellness as well. How do you get off your medications? If you're on medication, how do you reduce your stress? How do you change your focus? How do you love yourself? So there's a lot of internal conversations that I've helped women shift so that they can be out here in the world doing what they love to do with confidence and with charisma and with all that personal power that they might have been lacking in the past. So that's what I do. I help women heal their past and appreciate who they are in the present and live the life of their dreams in the future, and that's what I do.
Wow, and now connecting to the personal power. A couple quick questions if I can. Folks might be curious, where are you from?
Well, originally, Shay, I am from Tarrytown, New York.
What?
Tarrytown. I don't know if
Tarrytown,
anybody's
New
ever
York.
heard it. I'll give a shout out to Tarrytown. Hi, Tarrytown. Give a shout out to Tarrytown.
I've never heard of Tarrytown, by the way.
Well, you know what? Have you ever
now.
heard of the legend of Sleepy Hollow, the Headless
Yes.
Horseman? Well,
Yes.
that's what it happened in North Tarrytown.
Ah, okay.
Absolutely. And the author Washington Irving is from right there. And then they named the next town after him, Irvington, New York.
Fantastic. Did you go to school there? Or tell us
I
about your background.
did. I went to high school there at Sleepy Hollow High School.
Okay.
And
where'd
my
you-
parents still live there.
They still
You know,
live there?
God bless them. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Two wonderful parents. And I
Are you
came
the-
here to University of Maryland.
University of Maryland?
Yes, I graduated from the University of Maryland at College Park here.
Oh, fantastic. Now, are you the only child?
I am not.
Okay.
You
Okay.
How
Okay.
wonderful of you to ask.
I was just curious. But I know the folks out there, they're curious also about personal power.
Yes,
And
personal power.
they're curious about what are some of the things that they could do to find that personal power in them. And just one last question. What's one of the reasons why you agreed today to sit down, allow us to pick your brain, to get inside of your head, to share your message with the world? What's one reason you even agreed to show up today to share this message?
You know, well, first of all, you asked about my brother and my sister, so I
Yes.
want to say something. Okay,
Sure.
my brother is an actor,
Okay.
and as an actor, he's had to believe in himself over and over again to keep getting up. You know, actors suffer a lot of rejection. They have to keep getting up to bat. And they have to just say, it's all right, and I still believe in myself, and I'm just going to go live my dreams. My sister is a physician, and as is her husband. And as a physician, she's had to make sure that she keeps her nose to the grindstone, that she doesn't get distracted, that she is able to deal with whatever challenges come her way because she has a dream. One of the reasons why I am here today is because I know that people have a dream. And that knowing you have a dream and knowing that you have allowed your circumstances or your lack of self-belief or low self-esteem or whatever that is has gotten in the way of you living your dream is very painful. And if I can do anything to help people get in touch with their power and live their dream, that's what I am here for. That is my purpose. And I'm so grateful for you giving me this opportunity to share everything I know about accessing personal power so that somebody out there can live their dream. There's just nothing better. There's just nothing better. I am living my purpose. That's my sweet spot, Shay. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you, so much for just coming aboard. Thank you for sharing your message. And let's just jump right into it if we can. Let's jump into the 3 principles, if we can, of personal power, because these principles are important. These principles, I know you've been in the lab, you put together your secret sauce, and you've tried to do all the things you can to give folks exactly what they need in order to really just truly make this happen. So let's take a look at the 3 principles of personal power, if we can. 3 principles of personal power. And let's start, if we can, with principle number 1. I guess that's the best part to start. I mean, I guess the first part to start is with principle number 1. So we're going to take a look at the number 1 principle, at least according to your list that you have right now. And let's go and share, what is the number 1 principle? Let's share that, please.
Well, the number 1 principle of power, Shay, is purpose precedes power.
Oh, why don't we say that again a little slower? Why don't we put that slide up? Let's let the audience, they may want to take notes on this one. This one is important. What is it called again?
Purpose precedes power.
And is this what is that? Is this a laneism?
Yes.
This is a laneism. I like this. Well, take a moment. I'm going to leave that there for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, you may want to write this down. Go ahead and share. What does that even mean? I mean,
purpose precedes power means that if you don't know that you have power, that you will fall for anything. If you don't know that you have a purpose here on this planet, that you will just fall for anything. You'll just be trying this, and you'll be trying this, and you'll be trying this. You will never access your power unless you actually can sit in the space of, I have a purpose. What is that?
Wow. So purpose precedes power. That's very powerful. I love the topic today. I mean, I love the topic you're putting together, personal power. Thank you so much for sharing that. Let's give them principle number 2, if we can. Again, principle number 1. Principle number 1 was purpose precedes power. Principle number 2, please, Lane, if you will, please share principle number 2.
Principle number 2, Shay, is power without purpose is a problem.
Well, okay. Another laneism here. I see another laneism up there. Share it one more time. Just say it slow. And ladies and gentlemen, please put this in your notes. Say it again, please.
Yes, power without purpose is a problem.
Now, you know you have to explain this because everybody's wondering, what in the LL Cool J does that even mean, by the way? So please, share your definition. Please, go right ahead and share.
That unfocused power, Shay, is extremely ineffective. Okay. Extremely ineffective, and everybody wants to be effective and successful in their life. Would you agree?
I would agree.
So, however, if you don't focus your power, you will not be successful. You will not be effective in your efforts. However, focused power is extremely effective. Okay. Power without purpose is a problem. However, power with purpose, focused in the right direction, is extremely effective and will get you what you want and where you want to be.
Wow, wow. Well, let's go right to number 3 if we can, because we said we had 3, right? The 3 principles of personal power. And number 3 is?
Number 3 is your power is your purpose.
Okay, now, once again, I'm a little slow. I went to public schools, by the way. So
oh, let's not get on public schools, shall we? I graduated from a nice public school. We're both brilliant,
yes,
may I say.
Yes, we are. Okay. So
are our viewers and listeners, by the way.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And you said another laneism. So take a moment and share what that means. Your power is your purpose.
Yes, your power is your purpose. There is nothing worse, Shay, than knowing that you are not living your purpose. There's nothing worse. Let me tell you, and that having your power at your disposal, being who you're supposed to be here on the planet, who you're meant to be, delivering your gifts and talents. That's your purpose, and your purpose contains your power. So for you to harness your power and live your purpose, that is your purpose. That is your purpose here, to learn how to wield your natural born power. That is your purpose.
Wow, that is your purpose. Well, now, what if you misuse the purpose? And we're going to get some examples from you that you maybe experienced personally in just a second. I know you have some great content, and I like to believe you've been there and done it, and you may share some of yours as well. But, first, let's just talk about the next segment if we can, because the next segment is very, very important. You talked about the 3 principles of personal power. We got those notes. Thank you for sharing that. Let's talk about next what happens. And it's almost a guarantee. Matter of fact, you even have it up. The audience looking at it right now. It says you're guaranteed to what?
You're guaranteed to misuse your power if.
Okay, if what? Okay, so are you going to walk us through this? I mean, are you getting ready to pull back the big black curtain, if you will? You're going to reach into your treasure chest of secrets right now. So, okay, so you're guaranteed to misuse your power if what? If you what?
If you don't own your power.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about what don't own your power means, please?
Well, here's what that means. This is a case of inner turmoil leads to outer rebellion.
Okay, now you got. Now you have to say it again, just a little slower. Inner
turmoil
leads
to outer rebellion.
Okay, now you really got. You have to break this one down. You have to explain this to us.
Well, and this is all been there, done that.
Okay.
All right. So as you said, been there, done that. This is about my life. So there are a couple of. I used to be known in certain circles as Hurricane Lane.
Now hold up. Now you said Hurricane what?
Hurricane Lane.
Oh, I can't. Look at that. I got a big old hurricane up there on the slide. That's great. So tell us a little bit about Hurricane who?
Hurricane Lane.
Okay, I got to hear this story. Go right ahead.
Somebody who would blow off people in her life, blow off opportunities in life, blow off all her dreams. I'm telling you, Shay, this is why I'm passionate about helping other people not do this, because I know how it feels. And just raining down grief on everybody and everything. Just raining down grief.
When you say blow people off, what do you mean? You just didn't return their phone calls? You didn't return email? I mean, what do you mean by that?
Well, before I owned up to my own power, I used to create a lot of havoc in my life as a protection mechanism.
Oh,
as a protection mechanism to keep people away from me, and I kept opportunities away from me because I was uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable being with myself. As someone who has been bullied, as someone who has survived abusive relationships, as someone who has compromised on her own life, I know that the result of a lot of that is just not feeling comfortable, not feeling powerful. And as a result of that, I would keep things away from myself, and I would keep things away. And what would happen is that I would just go around blowing off steam, blowing off, because that's another way to self-sabotage, That's another way to self-sabotage.
As well as just with your body language, just the whole
verbally and body language. And, it doesn't mean I didn't love people. It was really covering up that I did love people. That's what it was covering up. That I love people and I wanted to be close to people and I wanted to succeed, but I was so afraid to step out. So afraid to step out of that box I was living in hurricane would come out, hurricane. Natural disasters are caused by pressure buildup. Pressure buildup. So we're going to see too as we move on. A lot of these principles, a lot of these ways to misuse your power. It has to do with pressure buildup, inner pressure buildup. It's got to come out somewhere.
It's got to come out. So you're guaranteed to misuse your power. As a result, you start what?
Well, you start wreaking havoc. I mean, what I would want people to listen to or ask themselves right now is who or what are you blowing off?
Say that again now.
Who or what are you blowing off?
Now, we have to dive a little deeper here. Who or what are you blowing off?
Are you blowing off?
So please go ahead and expand.
Well, this is more about self-sabotage. Where are you being offered opportunities, but that you have your hand out? You have your hand out. Wait a minute, no, I'm not ready. Or I have to do more preparation. I have to do more work. And letting yourself kind of be all in confusion, like a hurricane. Like a hurricane, a mental hurricane, a confusion. Oh, I'm not sure, or I have too much conflict going on. Or, where are you not taking the opportunities? Where are you blowing off the people in your life that just be trying to be nice to you?
Okay.
Where are you messing up your relationships? And it's something to look at.
So wreaking havoc is not only with yourself, but it sounds like you're saying it's also in other people's lives
It's
as
in
well.
other
It's kind of
people's
like you
lives.
just show there, it's just tearing up what's going on around you.
That's right.
And this could be your inner circle of folks you need to have support from. Is that correct?
It could be your family, your co-workers,
Mm-hmm.
at work. This happens quite a bit in the workplace, Shay.
Wow. So you're guaranteed to misuse your power if you don't what?
Well, again, if you don't focus your power,
Okay.
if you don't focus your power, you are guaranteed to misuse it. And this is a case of inner discontent.
Mm-hmm. Inner discontent.
Discontent.
Now, you have to explain that now.
Well, inner discontent leads to outer upset.
Okay.
Outer upset. So if you think about an earthquake, right? An earthquake.
Now, is this like Earthquake Lane?
This is Earthquake
Now,
Lane.
I mean, I can't. I mean, Earthquake Lane. Are you like falling through the cracks or something? I mean, what? Okay, break this down for me. I see cracks. I see things happening. Folks are like Earthquake Lane. They learn about earthquake. I mean, learn about Hurricane Lane. You mean tell me that we have multiple personalities? Is that what you're going to tell me? Oh, no, I'll be quiet. You just go ahead and explain. What does it all mean, please?
Let me just say, I don't know if we all have multiple personalities, but we have multiple aspects to our personalities.
Okay.
We have multiple aspects to personalities. This speaks to knowing that your power does have a purpose. And if you don't have a focus for your power, you will go from one thing to another thing to another thing, looking for a way to express your power. You'll be looking for an outlet, all right? So before I learned to focus my power, I used to shake up my life every year or so. Shake up my life. So I would change jobs a lot.
So you've had more than one job?
Change jobs. Yes, of course.
Really?
Have you ever had? No. And you've always done this, I bet, from the time you were 10 years old, Shay. No. I bet you were interviewing folks and teaching people how to market themselves. I bet, because it looks like a second.
I've only had 2 jobs my whole career, but you sound like you had multiple ones, like you're wreaking havoc all the time. Like you were just jumping around.
I did like to jump around because I was looking for that inner peace. I was looking for inner peace. And, so to the reason why we're kind of equating it with an earthquake is that, when the earth is just not happy and things have to shift. So the plates of the earth start to shift and it comes up and it just bubbles up to the surface and just knocks everything over and creates cracks. Then that's where you have unfinished projects in your life. You're constantly shifting. You're looking for from this to this. You're changing relationships a lot. You're changing your mind a lot. And this is very, very, very important because successful people decide quickly and change their minds very seldom.
Oh, you just said something real important. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't write that one down, you want to write that one down. Lane, could you please say that again, just a little slower for the audience?
Indeed. Successful people make up their mind very quickly. So they choose quickly and they change their mind very seldom. People who are not successful change their minds frequently and take a long time to choose. They take a long time to make a choice, and then they don't trust themselves, so they're like changing and changing and changing. And that used to be me, and it makes you exhausted. So when I was living this earthquake phase of my life,
hurricane to an earthquake. Okay.
I was constantly expending energy, but it wasn't focused. I was always exhausted. I had nothing to show for it, and I was distracted by everything. And this is what I call the shiny object syndrome. The shiny object syndrome. So you're not focused on anything, so you're distracted by anything that's shining off in there in the distance. It's shining off in the distance. Oh, I'm going to go this way. No, I want to go that way. No. So I bet that there are some people who are viewing or listening to us right now who can relate to this. And what I want them to think about is, what are the distractions that you're allowing to shake up your life right now?
Wow. And you're going to share, hopefully a little later on today, you'll share you help folks that have those type of distractions so they can have more focus. But I love you're guaranteed to have something happen. You're guaranteed to misuse your power if, and I like that. Let's share one more if we can. I mean, I know you have a couple of things, but you're guaranteed to misuse your power if you what?
Yeah, you're guaranteed to misuse your power if you don't apply. Your power.
Okay.
If you don't apply your power.
What does that mean?
Well, what that means is that self-suppression leads to self-destruction. And this is very deep now.
Now,
this is very deep now.
Do I hear another lane coming out of here? I mean, do I hear this other lane that's going to be coming out in a moment?
We're going to talk about the self-suppressed lane that was very self-destructive, volcano lane.
What? we have another another
have a lot
aspect.
of natural disasters going
it's
on
another
here.
aspect, right? It's another aspect of Lane.
Aspect of
Okay,
your
okay.
personality.
So Volcano Lane. I love it. I love it. Tell us about Volcano Lane. You told us about the Hurricane Lane. You told us about Earthquake Lane. Now tell us, please, about Volcano Lane.
Yes. Well, let me just say that people who don't express themselves are like sleeping volcanoes. All right. People who don't express themselves are like sleeping volcanoes. You never know when they're going to erupt and spew their emotions all over the place. And this is not unusual for women to feel that it is not safe for us to be emotional. It is not safe for us to feel our feelings, because out here in society, it's considered taboo. You don't want to shake up stuff. You don't want to interject yourself. It's a very male-dominated society still here in the United States and in the world also. And when we show up in the boardrooms, or we show up in the schools, or we show up however we need to show up, we are often expected to show up without our emotions, because, you know, the image of the hysterical female, well, you'd think that would be gone by now. But I'll tell you, I know it isn't. There's a lot of sisters out there that know that's not. And what we have done is we have suppressed our feelings. And what happens is when you suppress the emotions you don't want to feel, you think they're not good, you suppress all of the emotions. The bad stuff, the good stuff, and there's parts of your whole personality that you don't get to explore. And that's where your strengths are. Your strengths are in every part of you. And you've got to allow yourself to come out. And if you don't find your voice, I guarantee, Shay, you will continue to be bullied in some way or another in your life. In some way or another in your life, you will let people push you around if you don't find your voice and start to express what's there for you. And for me, I used to pout a lot. I wasn't getting my way. I would hold it in. I wouldn't say what I wanted to say. I would have a lot of doubt. I would let other people talk for me. I mean, now I can't believe this looking at now. Because look, all right, I'm a fountain of information right now. But after a while, I would just, spew fire and ash all over everybody. Because if you're keeping your pressure in, it's got to come out. Once again, it's got to come out.
Once it starts coming out, then I guess you kind of get this what?
Well, you get this eruption of emotion, because what happens is self-suppression causes anger. Anger and resentment.
And can you for a moment, I mean, I just love that slide. We'll leave that there for a second. I just love what you
I know, I like that slide too.
Not because of the slide, but because things are erupting. Can you share an example maybe in your life where there was a situation, could have been at work, could have been personal, I have to get too many names here, where you were holding something back, and without mentioning names, but you actually exploded. Do you mind being transparent with the audience? It might have been a work situation at any point in your life or career. Do you mind sharing that? Because folks listening might be thinking, wow, she just has it all together. And I know you like folks that are listening out there. I know you like folks that are out there right now. So you're just like them.
Well,
can you share an example, please?
Let me just say that what this looks like is a grown woman throwing tantrums. That's what this looks like.
Okay.
All right? So overreacting to things, overreacting to things that happen in the workplace. I remember somebody gave me, we were doing a demo, all right? I was doing a demo, and it was to music, and the person who was in charge of the demo gave me a tape, and I agreed to allow her to give me her tape instead of me using my own tape. And what happened was my own music.
Okay. So
exactly. It was yes, I'm sorry. It was an exercise demo. We were using music. It was.
Are you actually into health?
I am very much into health. I have taught exercise, Shay, for 30 years now.
No way.
It is very important.
Are you into certification? Are you certified? I mean, have you taken classes with coaches? I mean, tell me a little about this.
I have. Yes.
We'll come back to the story about the demo with the tape, because I'm not going to let you off that. I want to hear about this music and this dancing. We all want to hear about that in a moment. But let's just step back, because there's another side to you that's want to open up. You mentioned that you're into health and you're into fitness. Why is that important?
It's important because if you don't take care of your body, you will not be taking care of your spirit. Your spirit can only thrive in a body that is well cared for. Our spirit, our body is the housing for our spirit. It's for our earthly energy. And if what we want is for our spirit to be fully expressed, and we all want that, Shay.
Yes,
we all want that, Shay. Then what we need to do is take care of ourselves physically and emotionally and mentally. We must take care of ourselves. And it's kind of a two-edged sword. So on the one hand, in order for your spirit to thrive, you have to take care of your earthly body. In order for your earthly body to thrive, you must take care of your spirit. It's a two-edged sword. So that people who are suppressing themselves, like we're talking about right now, often do that in overeating or substance abuse or violence or overreacting. But mostly what women do is we turn it internally. We turn the anger internally, and it only comes out in spurts.
The whole eruption. And how did you get into this health field and get into this? And you said you've been doing it for 30 years. Is it? I mean, tell us how you got started.
Wow.
Maybe a little bit about your journey and why you enjoy it, because that sounds like an area where, you know, although you had this earthquake lane going on, there's a volcano lane going on. We're talking about eruption right now. How did you finally find your home in the area of health?
Wow. Well, you know, that's an interesting question. My goodness. Well, my mother's a physician.
Okay.
First of all, my mother's a physician, and she did instill in us at an early age the importance of healthy eating. We were always outside playing. There was always some activity that we were doing as a child. And I also took dance classes. I was a dancer as a young adult.
Don't forget, I'm gonna come back to the music. I haven't forgot about that.
I was a dancer through college and also after college, and I danced in a dance company. It was always very self-expression. That was my self-expression. Being physical was my self-expression. Because as you could see, I was emotionally suppressed, as I said before, with the earthquake and the hurricane and the volcano and everything going on. Physical expression was my outlet. And in order to be physically self-expressed, I had to be healthy. And I actually did start to notice in my circle of friends that people who didn't take care of themselves had less energy. They weren't as happy. And I befriended myself a lot. I don't know why. See, this is how God shows you your direction. I had a lot of friends who were bullied and teased, and a lot of the reason they were bullied and teased was because of how they showed up physically. How they showed up physically. And I was kind of there doing the protecting. And I made my body part of that protection. I began to enjoy lifting weights a lot. I began to enjoy running and being someone who could be depended on to be that pillar of strength. And I became a personal trainer. A personal trainer. And women started coming to me saying, I want some of what you have. I want to be in shape. I want to look good. I want to feel good. I want to be able to express myself. I want to feel good in my body. And it's a very, very important aspect of your self-expression, a very important aspect, because how you feel when you look in the mirror, how you feel when you look in the mirror can just shape your whole mood, your persona, your personality, and it shapes how you show up in the world. So I became a personal trainer and helped women free themselves from that baggage that had lodged itself in their bodies in the form of obesity or cigarettes, addictions, arthritis, all these things that we use to hold ourselves down. And that's where it started for me. And then I decided that I wanted to support women in their whole being. So the physical, the emotional, the spiritual, the intellectual. Is that answering your question, Shane?
That is definitely answering my question. And thank you so much for sharing so much about that. And, you know, I just want to not end where we are today, but just finish the story that you were sharing about you erupting. You were talking about just a few moments ago. You were getting a recording. And there was music on it, and I don't know what happened.
It was a performance. We were in public. It was a performance. The point is that the music wasn't what I expected. I felt embarrassed. I felt that I looked bad. And I was extraordinarily upset. And I realized, boy, I let that thing upset me, and it festered, and it festered, and it festered, and it festered. Do you know what I mean? And it was one of those times when if I had just said, wow, I'm sorry, that didn't work for me, wow, or something, right? But instead, I put it internally, I held it in. looking back, right? Looking back, had I known at that point how powerful I was, that wouldn't have bothered me. You see, when you don't know how powerful you are, and you don't know that you're on the planet to live a purpose, every little thing will bother you. So somebody might do something, they might not mean anything by it, but you'll take it personally, and that will bother you, and you may erupt at them, or you may hold it in internally and have it destruct from the inside.
Ooh,
When you know what your purpose is and you know that you have some power, it doesn't matter what people do. You know that the only person you can control is yourself.
I like that.
And it may be that I wouldn't have even allowed her to, I would have said, nope, I'm using my tape, thank you very much. Instead of giving my power over to her and saying, here, oh, sure, I'll use your tape. I don't know what's on it, but I'll trust you. Well, how silly.
Yeah.
How silly. How silly would I give that power away to somebody when I'm in front of an audience and I know I need to show up a particular way?
Fantastic. So, you know, the message throughout here, and thank you so much for where we are right now. The message throughout here is that if you misuse of power, always causes what?
Natural disasters, and we've been equating behavior to natural disasters and so forth. This just means that inner struggle leads to outer conflict. That's really what that means. And inner struggle is mostly a result of not being authentic, not being who you really are.
Okay.
And not being authentic creates pressure buildup, right? As I was saying, all natural disasters happen because of a buildup in pressure, whether it's the air pressure or the ground pressure or the water pressure. It builds up, and you become a destructive force in your own life, Shay. And that's the fear. That's the fear. I want people to understand how not to be a destructive force in their own life. How do you keep the pressure from building up inside of you? How do you express yourself at all times and know that that's okay?
Wow. I mean, and I love the analogy. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate that. And you talked about how do you. Let's take a moment and step back. And I understand that you're getting ready to share, if you can. I have a couple of questions all geared around the 3 keys. And what are the 3 keys really to having your personal power?
Well, the 3 keys to having your personal power are number 1, own your power. Number 2 is focus your power. And number 3 is to apply your power.
So if we can, let's just talk about number 1. And let's just start there. I mean, you lined them up. I didn't line them up. I mean, this is me. I'm fortunate and blessed to ask these questions, and I'm glad you're being transparent and sharing all type of stories about you. By the way, Willow would be proud right now.
Willow would be proud.
Willow would be proud
but
right now.
I'll tell you, any good coach will be transparent, Shay, because I can't help people grow if I'm not willing to grow. Yes.
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
That is right.
Thank you for sharing that you're not perfect.
You gotta walk the talk.
So let's talk about the benefits of owning. Just take a few moments and kind of share and expound on that, if you would.
The benefit of owning your power is this, that you will have less inner conflict and less outer struggle, and you will have more inner peace and more outward harmony.
Okay.
And this is very, very important. When you know who you are, you can discover your purpose and follow your passions. You see, because the reason why we don't own our power very often is because of the limiting beliefs that we have picked up along the way, our negative ideas about ourselves and our lives that we allow to hold ourselves back, and they're not even ours. Those aren't our ideas. We were not born with those ideas. Someone told us that along the way. You can't have everything you want. You're not powerful enough to get what you want. You're not worthy of having the life you want and living your dreams. Well, it's not true. And you must allow yourself the option of being powerful in your own life, and you have to own it.
And why is passion important?
Passion is important because without passion, life is just going through a routine every day, a daily routine, kind of ho-hum. Okay, well, I know this is what I do this first, and then I do this next. It's okay. It doesn't make me feel all that good. Passion is just where the promise is when you get up every day and you go, hey, I'm looking forward to the day. You know, I heard Wayne Dyer said something once on a tape. I heard him say, I haven't had the pleasure of seeing him in person, by the way, however. And he said, you know, I used to wake up in the morning and say, good God, it's morning. He said, now I wake up and I say, good morning, God. I got so much out of that, so much out of that. Yeah, it's just allowing yourself to be powerful and passionate about your life. What am I going to do next? What do I got to show up next?
I love the energy. This is all about owning. Well, share, if you would, for the audience, what is another benefit, because I understand we're going to go through another. So if you would, what is the benefit of what?
Well, there's a benefit of focusing on your power, and that is that you will have less confusion and more clarity.
Okay, less what now?
Less confusion and more clarity.
Like two C's, less confusion
And more clarity. And the next one is also an alliteration. Less frustration and more follow through. Less frustration and more follow through. So when you home in on what you want to accomplish, the universe can provide you with whatever you need to manifest your dreams. You will finish what you start. You will be less concerned with failure, and you will take more courageous action when you focus your power on what it is that you want to accomplish.
And why do you think people struggle with the follow-up part? You mentioned just follow up on things they started and not having the power to follow up. I mean, what's one of the reasons you believe that folks have that struggle?
Self-sabotage. We talked about it before. Self-sabotage. Fear, self-doubt, low self-esteem. I don't know if I'm going to be successful. Let me just get out there and then go back in the closet. All right, let me get out of the box. Here's one leg out of the box. Oh, hold on a second. It's kind of cold out here. Let me go right back in the box. That is what lack of follow through is, because we're afraid to actually take the next step and the next step. And I help people actually take all the steps necessary to get to your goal, which is very important in life.
We're going to get to, and you mentioned there were 3 keys. And so you said owning, focusing, and there was one more key, which was applying. What is the benefit of what?
Well, the benefit of applying your power is that you'll have less fear and more freedom.
Okay.
Less fear and more freedom. Less negativity and more vitality. So you'll just feel better because you'll know that you are doing what's important to you. You will be applying yourself. You will be expressing yourself in the world, and you'll feel better. You'll have a greater sense of self-advocacy. You won't be allowing people to take away your power. You will be clear about what you're here for, and you will have so much more freedom, and you will be joyful, Shay. You will be joyful, because when you express yourself authentically, you create a loving environment for your spirit to grow and expand, and you'll be able to give yourself credit for your accomplishments.
And what does a loving environment look or feel like? And from just if people could look through the lens of your world for a moment and saw the world from your view, what does that look or feel like to Lane?
A loving environment means nurturing yourself, taking time for yourself to know what it is that you need, to ask for what you need, to allow yourself to be supported, to stop taking care of everybody under the sun and start taking care of you. What do you need to do to take care of yourself? Maybe you need to start an exercise program. Maybe you need to begin a book project. Maybe you need to end a relationship that's not working out or start another one. Maybe it's time for you to move to the beach like you've always wanted to do. Whatever it is that you need to do for yourself, because when you take that first step and you take the next step, then your spirit knows that you're serious about change and that you're ready to be fully expressed and live your power in the world. And it just takes that one step and that next step and that next step in application. And I've seen people just open up and their life just changes when they own their power, they focus their power, and they apply their power. It's a life changer, Shay.
And this is what your mission is. Your mantra, mission is help folks find that personal power inside them so they can be unstuck and kind of move forward.
Absolutely. So you can get unstuck and be unstoppable. Shay.
Oh, say that. I like that.
So you get unstuck and be unstoppable.
Now, there's some folks out there right now, and I like that, what you do and how you help folks get there. And they may have a few questions, if they're listening right now and they're watching, and they may have a few questions. And, one of the questions, I'm just going to speak for the audience, man. I've got it to be flat out and just get down and get to the point.
Sure.
You've done this for others. You've done it for yourself. And you've done everything you need to help everyone improve their life. Can you share a story of maybe someone that you work with and they're wondering, will this even work? They may be curious. Do you mind sharing one of those stories, please?
I have a client, oh gosh. Well, I'm proud of all my clients, first of all. Very proud and very privileged to be working with my clients. I don't take it lightly that they trust me. That they trust me with
They
their
trust you.
past and their present and their future. They trust me.
And this trust is all confidential. Everything they share with you
Everything
is
is
confidential. I mean,
confidential.
it's not
No,
shared, it's not released,
not
it's not
shared, not
sold.
released.
You don't sell it to any
No,
third parties.
indeed, I
I'm
don't
just
tell
curious.
no, indeed, and that is
Th-
important for
there's
people
no
to know.
okay, so the
Whenever
information-
anybody comes and works with me,
Okay.
even if it's just a sample session, I do say everything here is confidential.
So
I
it
won't even
stays
tell
within-
anybody that you had this conversation, let alone what you said.
Okay, so this is very confidential.
Very
Okay.
confidential.
So today, I know you're not going to mention any names because you're talking about one of your clients.
Indeed, I am not.
I'm going to try that. I was going to ask the question. Who? Where are
Don't
they?
even ask me, Shay, because I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, so please just go ahead and give us an example. Folks are just curious. Will this even work?
I have a client who was very, very skeptical, and she only became a client because someone recommended me. Someone she trusted actually twisted her arm a little bit and said, "Listen, you need to talk to this person. She'll help you restore your power." And this client had been, she was in a state of turmoil and upset, and she was very angry because she had repeatedly been passed over for promotion in her office, in her job, and there was some discrimination going on. She was, female, African-American female. She was upset. She had a lot of stories about why she was being held back in her workplace. And in our conversations, she was able to transform her conversation about who she was and see what her purpose was and how she was holding her own self back. And now she is working, she is very prominent in law enforcement, and she is someone that they go to, that they trust with the most confidential cases, and she is just living her life unshackled. She's freed from all that past story about how she couldn't get ahead. And I'm so proud of her. I'm just so proud of her, and I smile every time I think about it.
Wow. And what did you enjoy most about working with that particular individual? I'm sure there's others that are very similar situations where you've had to go, take them from where they were to where they want to get to. But what do you enjoy most about working with people, Elaine?
Well,
Please.
I'll tell you, the thing that I enjoy most, Shay, is watching people see where they have held themselves back in the past. Watching people emerge from that darkness. Watching people step out from behind the curtain of their own life
Okay.
and look out and say, there is something else out there. There's something I want. And kind of step out of the box and open up their hearts and just say, world, I'm here now. Here I am. Like it or not, deal with it. I'm here for something.
Sure.
And having people live their purpose and live their life just free of all those circumstances and all those regrets. Living life without regret, Shay.
Okay.
Living life without regret is just a gift, and I am so thrilled to be helping people do that.
Wow, it's certainly a passion. I can hear it in your voice. I can see it in your eyes. And ladies and gentlemen, this is someone who really eats her own cooking. I mean, Elaine's that type of person. That's one of the reasons why I'm just humbled that you agreed to have us here today. And, there are folks out there that are probably curious right now, will it work? It does work. So step back for a moment. I've got I'm curious myself, just sitting here. I mean, I'm hearing it. I feel the passion. I know that you can help people move forward. I mean, you have the ability, you have that talent, you've been blessed with that. But I'm just curious if it works. Share another story, if you will. Maybe someone you've worked with, and maybe a success that they've had.
Yes, indeed. Just like the client that I just shared about with her successes, I'd have two other people that I'd like to share.
Okay.
One of them actually came to me because she was very passionate about starting a 501c3. She wanted to start a nonprofit organization that was designed to help the homeless and the indigent actually see value in who they were so that they could start to get on their feet and so forth. And she just lacked the confidence to be able to do that. She lacked she had the vision. She had the vision, Shay.
Okay.
But she lacked the confidence. She was, I don't know if I can do this. I'm just one person. She was very passionate about this, just to help people see the beauty in who they were. Because people have been forgotten about, they're disenfranchised. And since working with her, she actually has founded her nonprofit. She has it's out in action in different places in Maryland, in different communities. She's making a difference, Shay, and she just feels like she's living her purpose too. I have another young lady who had a book project, and she had a vision for a book that was going to change the way that women see themselves in the world, to see their inner beauty and their outer beauty. And she didn't have the focus. She lacked focus in her life. She was letting other things just distract her and pull her away because she had responsibilities that she had to deal with. She was a mom. She had kids. She had a husband. She had, she had to work. But I was able to help her focus her energy so that she has just had, in the last couple of weeks, her book launch.
Wow.
Very proud to say that she has published that book, and she's self-published, Shay. She did everything it took to self-publish. She found her own funding and her backers and got her own marketing together. I am so proud to have had anything to do with that. I'm just telling you, I'm very, very humbled. I didn't do it.
Okay.
I didn't do the work for any of these people, you see, because I don't do the work for my clients. But what I do is have conversations with them that help them see what they need to do and get the courage to do what they need to do to live their dream. So I don't do the work, but I engage you in a conversation that has you do what's necessary for you to live your own dream.
Wow, so you're the catalyst. Sometimes
yeah, I love that word.
Or perhaps you could be the rocket fuel that helps them blast off.
That's
but,
interesting. I don't even know if I'm the fuel, Shay. I don't even know. I might be the match.
You might be the match.
I might be the match. Well, I don't even know if I'm the fuel. I think everybody has the fuel inside of them.
Okay.
I just think everybody has their own fuel.
Point.
They just need to help to ignite it.
Ah.
That's all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. You said you had 2 stories. So, you mentioned one, and then you said it was another story that you had?
No, I just did 2 stories.
Okay,
matter of fact, I did 3 stories. You're not paying attention.
I'm paying very close attention.
Are you paying attention?
I was going to dig a little deeper, but I'm just joking. Unfortunately, I was going to ask for more and more and more, but yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be here all day. At some point, the lights are going to go off, and folks got to get back to doing what they're doing. I know you've got to get back out there to saving the world, to making a difference, and getting your message out. So, what we'd like to do, if we can, is let's just take a few moments and kind of walk through folks the next what.
Well, what are the next steps, Shay?
And there are probably some folks out there, they're wondering, they've heard you, they're very interested in working with you, they like to be a part of what you're doing, but they're just not sure how. And if I can ask this a couple of questions, I know you've kind of outlined this and laid this out, and certainly I really, really appreciate it. But let's talk to them about what it takes to join who, the what?
Well, I'd like everyone to join my winning team if they're ready to move forward in their life. Yep.
Great. So, why don't we talk about how they can do it? And there's some folks, Lane, they're just like, look, I'm ready. I'm in. I want to understand more how to work with her. I'm just ready to get going right now. And for those folks, let's just tell them where can they go right now. If you're listening right now to the sound of Lane's voice, and you just happen to hear my voice every now and then, you can go over to the computers, open up the browser right now. It's a very simple process. It's not really that hard, but just click the browser. But when they do that, Lane, what should they type into the browser?
Well, I'd like to invite people to go to teamlanecobb.com.
Okay, so that's 3 words. I'll make sure I heard this correctly. 3 words. They will go to where?
teamlanecobb.com.
Okay, so they can go there, and if they want to get started with you and work with you, they can do that. The information's there. They can go do that right now. But understand that there is a what?
Well, there is an investment.
So this is not free. This is not free. It's not free. So they know up front there is an investment, and we're going to share what that is in just a few minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, hang in just a few moments. She's going to share that if you just decide to work with Lane and be a part of her coaching program, I understand that she's going to share with us step by step what you get to work with her over the next 6 months. Now, if I understand, this program is how long is this program? Folks get a chance to work with you?
Well, this is a 6-month program, Shay.
This is a 6-month program.
This is a 6-month coaching program. That's right.
Okay, 6-month coaching program, and this program is every week or every other week? How does that work? Is it every week or every once a month or every 3 months, or how does it work?
Yes, this will include bi-weekly broadcast, Shay.
Bi-weekly. Okay. Now, so right now, if you're wondering right now, you're kind of curious. Okay, I work with Lane. I make an investment. I get a chance to work with Lane. What do I get? Now, some of you are already at the website. You didn't even want to wait. You just went out to teamlanecobb.com and you already signed up. It's very easy, by the way. You put your name, phone number in there. Put your credit card down. There is an investment. She did mention this earlier. Obviously, and there's nothing wrong with doing that in these United States of America. You provide this a wonderful service, but you have a wonderful wonderful way for them to be able to do that in just a few moments. But let's just talk about what they get first, because I understand that the name of your program is your what? Your personal what?
Personal Power Success Program.
Now, okay, now just say that again a little slower. It's your what?
This is my Personal Power Success Program.
Okay, so it's a way for folks to work with you, be a part of your journey as you continue to move forward, and also work with other folks. Now, I promised that we would ask the question, what do they get, Lane? So I hope you're going to share with them in a moment what they are going to get, because this is very important. Folks are putting up their money. You do take credit cards, right? Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. You do take credit cards.
Indeed, I do.
Okay. Now, do you take promissory notes?
Promissory notes, I'm
just joking.
Well, let me just say this, though, Shay, too, because there's something about making an investment. Okay. There's something in making an investment in yourself when you really want to grow, you want to change your life, that you need to make an investment. In other words, you need to have some skin in the game. Otherwise, life is, as usual, is going to creep back in and rear its ugly head, and you're going to start sabotaging yourself and say, oh, I don't want to do that. It didn't cost me anything. It was free anyhow. I don't have to really worry about that. Sure. Making an investment is very, very, very important for growth and development.
I agree. So let's tell them what they're going to get right now, and then we'll tell them what the investment is. As I understand, I mean, this is not one of those $10,000 programs. Have you ever purchased those $10,000 programs?
Well, not quite $10,000, but yes, quite a few $1,000s.
So you work with coaches yourself? I have
worked with coaches myself.
And have you left your local area and flew to go get training in other areas?
I have done that as well.
Okay.
I have done that as well.
So you've made the investments in your own business?
I have made the investments in my own business, and yes, and over time, and every penny I spent was well worth it, let me just say.
Fantastic. You're someone to eat your own cooking. So let's just tell them what they're going to get, Lane, because there's three main areas that they're going to get. So let's make sure we tell them. So number one, they get access to who?
Well, they get access to me.
Okay, so as I understand, for those take advantage of the special offers you're going to mention in a few moments, if they register, part of the program includes a special one-on-one session with you. Is that correct?
There's a bonus coaching session.
With you?
With me.
And how long is this session?
Yes, we have 30-minute sessions for each person who's in my program, Shay.
Okay, so this is not a trainer, not meeting with some assistant, that might meet with someone that you just appointed to be your representative. They're meeting with you.
They're meeting with me because this is my personal project, my Personal Power Success Program, Shay, and I want to be responsible for making sure that everybody has access to me, so they know who I am and I know who they are, because I'm committed to their success, and I'm not going to hand that off to anybody.
Oh, that's super fantastic. This is not some a recording they get you. Fantastic. I just want to be clear. Folks are going to make this investment. It's under $1,000, but it's not really a big deal. But it's still money, and every dollar counts these days for folks. Every dollar counts. Number two, I understand they're going to get
a bi-weekly broadcast.
Now, is that like a conference call?
That is a conference call.
So they could be anywhere, any place in the world, as long as they have access to a
telephone.
Okay, and they can dial the phone.
Absolutely.
It's an easy number to dial in, and it's a bi-weekly call. So it's not like every single morning. It's not one of those every single morning calls, is it?
Oh, no, indeed. Bi-weekly.
So
once
every other week.
Every other week.
Every other week. Now, is this a live broadcast? Are you going to be on there live?
Yes. Yes, I will be on there live.
You're on there live. Okay. Now, are you putting, I know it says up there, they're following along with us, and it says number 3, guest experts. I like to believe, Lane, that it's not just you putting the world on your back here. You're bringing on experts. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the fields and why you would have experts on these particular calls to share their expertise?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll be bringing in industry experts in all areas of health and well-being and emotional development, physical development, because human beings have all these different areas of wellness. We often try to separate our personal life from our business life.
Oh, I'm guilty. You're stepping on my toes.
I was going to talk to you about that after the broadcast.
Oh, thank you. Oh, please, don't put me on the spot. This is you.
But it's important. You have to be healthy in all aspects of your life, and people get stuck in one area or another. So I'm going to make sure that I have experts in each of these fields so that people can get everything they need to be successful, Shay.
Okay, so if you are a business owner, this would be a great program to be a part of because you have experts. If you are a mom or a dad or married or single, this is a great program. So it's in your personal life, it could be in your professional life, could be in many different areas, and health awareness is so important. But I understand there's there's a little bit more. I understand that you dug deep on this one, that you were in the lab, you put together your best ideas, you put together something that you knew with 100% certainty was going to help folks right now really achieve their personal power, and there's a little bit more. So number one is they get what?
Well, they get some audio recordings.
So
all of the calls are recorded.
So if they're not there live, they'll still be able to tune in.
Yes, they
They'll
will.
still be able to listen
They will.
anytime. So if they're at the gym, which you talked about, health and awareness, they can listen to it. If they're in their car, they can listen to it. So as long as they got internet access, they have it. Is that correct?
That is correct, and I use that. I do that a lot for myself. When I pay my coaches or I register for my programs, I do listen to that in my car, at the gym, and it's good to listen to the recordings even if you are on the call sometimes, Shay, just to hear it again.
Okay, so you hear the second and third or fourth time until those ideas are really burned into their subconscious mind.
That's right.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And I also see up there, number two, they also receive the notes. Is that correct?
Indeed.
Whoa, now you know, most programs, they don't give you the notes. They don't share the notes that they're using. You'll be sending, I guess, via email, and there'll be some way to communicate notes with.
That's right. I will send a downloadable PDF of whatever the subject matter is before every call, Shay.
Okay, so the person has to write down notes. Although I'm sure you encourage them to do it. They don't have to do all that, do they? They can have the notes.
No, they don't have to do that. They can look at them later, use them for reference. They can save them. They have access to them. There'll be some worksheets there, some mental tickling questions for them so that they can make sure that they have visual learning and auditory learning, because all of these things are important, and then there'll be some actions for them to take if they want to.
Sure, so this could be a good trainer program for some folks as well. If you're a leader right now, or a leader of your home, a leader of your individual, a leader of a group, you could learn from Lane how to find your personal power, and then some of these ideas just naturally you might be able to share with someone else. The notes was a really great idea, by the way. I don't see that too often, Lane. You really dug down for there. There is certainly more than I thought was going to be there. Number three is they'll be part of a what?
They'll be part of a private community, Shay, a private Facebook community for support and tools for growth and information and things to take advantage of.
So they'll be a network.
Absolutely.
Well, with other folks. So if I'm here in Washington, D.C., I love Washington, D.C. It's just a beautiful city.
It is indeed.
I love Washington, D.C. I know you love Maryland as well. You love New York as well.
Blessed to be here, that's right.
So they can be anywhere, and as a result of being part of this personal power success program, they could meet other individuals that think just like them. Is that what you were saying?
Like-minded individuals who are on the path to accessing and applying their personal power. That's right. And when you are growing and developing, you need to surround yourself with like-minded people, people who are doing the same thing you're doing.
Okay.
People who want you to succeed.
They want you to succeed, and you yourself participate in groups, I'm sure, as well, where you're part of groups. I mean, success is a team sport, they say, Lane. You could only get so far by yourself. So I'm really glad that you put together this community of folks to all have one common objective. Now, there's some folks right there. They're like, okay, I forgot the website. I forgot where to go to. I mean, in a moment, we're going to tell them what the investment is. Again, it's under $1,000. So, ladies and gentlemen, just hang on just a little bit longer. We're going to share that with you. But where can they go once again, Lane? If they're out there right now, like, look, I am ready. It says it right on the slide. Where do they go right now to just go ahead and get registered and get started? Go to where?
Well, they can go to teamlanecobb.com.
Okay. What's the site again? You know, you got to spell
teamlanecobb.com.
Now, is that Cobb with one B or two B's?
That is Lane Cobb with two B's. LANECOBB.
Can you even spell it with one B? No, I guess not.
I guess you can, but I don't.
No. Okay. The only thing that matters is you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want right now, it's just really easy. Open up the browser right now. I know you're curious, like, Shay, what's the investment? Get to it, Shay. I'm a sales guy. I'm going to get to it. I mean, she has a very special offer. You don't want to miss this. You go to teamlanecobb.com. But I understand there is a choice. They can continue doing exactly what they're doing right now and continue on that path. And there's challenges. I mean, you talked about natural disasters. Things just happen. Sometimes life shows up. But then there's what? There's the what?
Well, there's the hard way or the easy way, Shay. That's right.
Okay. And so for those that are ready right now to move forward, we're going to go ahead and share right now. There is an investment for the personal power. What's the name of it? I can't. All these P's. Personal power what?
Success program.
And there is an investment. The investment. Oh, this is just incredible. What is the investment of this program?
The investment for this program, Shay, is $995.
Okay, $995. Now, is this a once a month? I mean, is this a one-time investment? Do I pay this every single month?
No, this is a one-time investment, Shay. For $995, they will get the whole 6 months program, including the calls, including the coaching, including the guest experts, the audio recordings, the notes, and the Facebook community. That's all a package for a one-time investment of $995.
Wow, that is super incredible. And where would they go to once again? There are folks that are listening right now. It's $995. I heard earlier you take Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover.
Indeed.
Is that correct?
That's right,
Okay.
I do.
Very simple process. They go to where they go to again?
Go to www.teamlanecobb.com.
And they'll be part of the Personal Power Success Program to take their power by the hand and move forward from where they are today to where they want to be there. And to be on the Team Lane Cobb team, I like that. They have a Team Shea Brown, but I like that, Team Lane Cobb. That is so easy. You know, Lane, first of all, let me say thank you so much for being here. I mean, we appreciate it in a moment. We'll have a few final thoughts in just a moment. But ladies and gentlemen, right now, if you're out there and you're watching and you're on the fence, I just want to say one thing to you, and then Lane, I just say this. I mean, then I'll let you have some final thoughts. But if you're on the fence right now, I want you to know this: the universe rewards people who take action differently than those that don't. And if you're on the fence right now, you're like, well, should I not? I'm just going to encourage you right now. Just go out there right now, put in your information, go ahead and get signed up. They do have a session with you. I'd like for you to get a bonus session if you can. So for those that take action, like I believe in just rewarding people. You weren't prepared to do this, but I'm famous for irresistible offers, Lane. I'm just famous for these things. Instead of one sessions, can I pry it and pump a little bit and get you to give? For those who take action, that if you're watching right now, we're doing this on the honor system, right? This is an honor system. If you're watching right now, and you go right now to teamlanecobb.com and you register, would you give them a bonus one-on-one? I don't want no assistant. I don't want somebody you trained. I want them to go watch some video online. Will you, Lane Cobb, agree that you will sit down with them and help them where they are right now? Will you give them an extra session?
Of course I will, Shay. As I say, I am committed to their success. Whatever I need to do, bonus session fits right into my back pocket. I love irresistible offers too, Shay, by the way. By the way.
I love those things. And you're so just so we have a point of clarification, it is another 30-minute session, not one of them 15-minute, get on, and then you ask them some questions in one bite. 30-minute session with the Lane Cobb. And they can do this over the phone. Did they have to come in person? They don't have to show
No,
up, do they?
indeed,
They
no.
can do
This
it right
is over the
phone?
telephone. It makes it very easy.
Okay.
Just call in and just call in. You don't have to travel any place.
Good. So they can be anywhere in the country right now.
Anywhere in the country, doing whatever you do. That's right.
Wow. So let me say this, Lane. I do want to say, first of all, in a moment we're going to have some final thoughts, and we'll give you an opportunity to speak to the audience and share your thoughts that you have. But before we do that, I do want to say thank you so much for taking time today to sit down and share your knowledge, share your expertise, share your experience, and just be transparent with folks and share with them how they can have their personal power to really achieve all the things they want. And you mentioned it earlier, to have the passion to really live their dream, but more importantly, to help others live their dream. You're doing so much in the world. You're just a great asset. I'm honored to be here. I've learned a lot just sitting here, and I'm just humbled that you allow me to be here today, and that the audience is here with us today as well. So let me first say thank you. We really, really appreciate it. We're going to give you a moment in just a moment to have just a few final thoughts. But before we do that, I got to just say this before we have some final thoughts. For those that are ready right now to register, just tell them where they can go. I mean, you put together irresistible offers, only $995. They get to work with you, be a part of your success program, get the community, get the notes, get the one-on-one time with you, as well as get access to the recordings as well. Where would they go to take advantage of that, Lane? Just one more time. I got to have just one more time to be part of this Personal Power Success Program. They go to where?
I would be happy to Shay, go to teamlanecobb.com.
Team Lane. Oh, they have it up on the slide. How nice are these? You know, these marketing
convenient.
folks. These marketing folks, they always have something going on. Next time, make Team Lane Cobb bigger. Make that bigger. I mean, I'm a sales guy, so I want them to see that. I mean, I want them to see final thoughts as well. But I want them to see Team Lane Cobb. And I tell you what, those that take advantage of it, that work with you, they're going to have a life-changing experience. It will be a game changer, and they'll be forever grateful they did. So with that being said, Lane, let me give you an opportunity to have your final comments that you have for the audience, please. There's some folks out there right now, Lane, they're doing just fine. Life's been good to them. They're on a trajectory. They're moving up, and they're doing fine, and you're going to talk to them. There's some other folks out there, Lane, they had some ups and some downs, some highs and some lows, and they're connected with you right now, and they're like, wow, I need that personal power. Then there are other folks out there, Lane, they're really struggling. Life's showing up, a ton of bricks are smacked them right in the face. They're picking themselves up. They're listening to you right now saying, I can do this, I can do this. If Lane has done it, I can do it as well. So take a few moments, whatever's on your heart, whatever you want to share. Just go ahead and share some final comments for those folks that are out there right now. And that'll be the final comments that we have for now. And go right ahead. Matter of fact, share those words, please.
Well, let me first thank you as well, Shane. Thank the audience. It's been such a pleasure being here. Anytime I get to share my passion and my knowledge about personal growth, I'm living in my sweet spot. I know I'm living my purpose. So I just appreciate the opportunity to spend time with you in the audience. It's just been such a privilege. And I want to say to everyone, you have special gifts and talents that are unique. Every person has unique gifts and talents that are unique to them alone. And the world needs them to be expressed. The world is waiting for them. There's not a person on this planet who doesn't want to make a difference for someone else, who doesn't want to make an impact on the world in some way. And if you're holding yourself back for whatever reason, if you're not using your power, or if you're misusing your power, or you're not able to focus your power, then you are not allowing yourself to have the full impact on the world that you really, really, really want to make. Inside, you know this is true. You know this is true inside, that you have allowed yourself to stand in the way, and you want to get yourself out of the way. So if you're tired of living a mediocre life, if you're tired of knowing there's a mission, but you're not being powerful and going ahead and delivering that mission, if you're tired of letting your circumstances or your emotions get in the way of your success, then I want you once again to join my personal power success program at teamlanecobb.com, because I want to work with you. I'm committed to your personal success. I can't thank you enough for giving me the opportunity to be here today.
Well, thank you so much. They're going to show that last slide just one more time and put it up for folks, so they all can go to teamlanecobb.com. Again, thank you so much. We thank the audience. We thank everyone for being here with us today, and make it a great day, everyone. And we'll certainly make good things happen when we connect again next time. We'll certainly do that.